This is a special presentation of Wave 31 Sports.
It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night. Hello, Alabama, find a comfortable spot. We got high school football and it's coming out hot. Now here we are and the lights are shining bright. We've always been. Yeah, Wave 31 is rocking all right.
With Nolan, Max, and Xavier.
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
A region battle between two unbeatens in our Big Game Friday night game of the week. Scottsboro hosts ARAB in a Class 5A Region 7 showdown.
While in our rivalry game of the week, it's a rematch of last year's 3A quarterfinals. Sylvania hosts Geraldine in our rivalry game of the week.
Hello, welcome into the Week 4 edition of Big Game Friday Night, everyone. I'm Neil Knight, joined here by Max Cohan. And Max, we are 5 weeks into the season, somehow the year already halfway over.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Things are flying, but despite that, we had some great games tonight, like our Big Game Friday Night game of the week, where we had a battle of the unbeatens between ARAB and Scottsboro.
Yeah, for a full recap on that showdown between the Wildcats and Knights, we'll send things out to Xavier Wary, who was on the sidelines.
The Knights and the Wildcats, they both came into this one undefeated. One was going to have first place in the region after tonight's game. The last time these two teams faced off against one another, ARAB dominated them, winning 28-7. They're looking to start 5-0 for the second consecutive year. Scottsboro is looking to spoil any of those chances and, of course, remain unbeaten themselves. How would tonight's game play out?
And we take a trip to Trammell Stadium in Scottsboro for our game of the week. Picking things up in the first quarter, Brandon Edmondson Jr. takes this handoff and look at him fighting and churning those legs, earning every yard he could on this play. But that was the last positive play for them on this drive. A few plays later, the Knights jarred the ball loose and even had me confused. But it's Wyatt Lamar with the scoop and the score. ARAB takes the early 7-0 lead. And after driving down the field on their next possession, the Knights get a good push from their O-line and find their way into the end zone again. ARAB now up 14-0. The Wildcats had some fight in them. Antonio Brox takes this toss and he walks into the end zone untouched, trimming the lead to 7. And right before the half came to an end, Jade Gilbert gets this late quarter touchdown, tying it up at 14 apiece as both teams enter the locker room in what was a very physical first half.
Final score in this one is 28-14. Scottsboro remains undefeated on the season. I'm with the head man right now. Coach, what was working so well for you all tonight?
Well, I mean, we were just able to run the option play, and Jake Jones did a great job reading it. Our offensive line did a super job getting a push. I mean, I think that was a big thing. They were able to get a push right there. And when we can do that, and it allows the quarterback an opportunity to see things, that was huge. They made a little change up there. In the second half, we adjusted that a little bit. They kind of overplayed us to the outside.
Coach, you all started out down 14-0 and then outscored them 28-0. Just kind of talk about what that says about your team.
Well, just a lot of resilience, and we knew at some point we were going to face them. And we've had a little adversity. We've had some injuries. Fort Payne, we allowed them to get back in the ball game. So we've had some adverse situations, but nothing like that. And it just showed that our kids are able to rebound, able to respond. We talked about it before the ball game. I said, guys, we may find ourselves up 21-0. We may not find ourselves up 21-0. And we didn't. We were down 14-0, but they hung in there. They kept playing in the division and just kept pounding away at it. And I'm really, really proud. I'm proud of our defense.
Still perfect on the season, Coach. 4-0. Congratulations.
Y'all take care.
All right. And again, the final score in this one is 28-14. Scottsboro really shut out ARAB after they went down 14-0. It was really a tale of two halves in this ball game. Scottsboro remains undefeated on the season at 4-0. ARAB has just suffered their first loss. I'm reporting in Scottsboro tonight. Xavier Wary, Wave 31 Sports.
Man, so there you have it. Scottsboro remains undefeated with the win. That game might have decided the region championship already.
But there's plenty of good teams in that region, Class 5A, Region 7, like Guntersville and Boaz, who squared off tonight. Guntersville rolled into Boaz, and Guntersville having some issues there. And Antonio Spurgeon rolls right and throws to Date Peterson. He sidesteps one defender and outruns the rest, diving to the pylon for Seth, and The Wildcats get right back, and this time it's Spurgeon rolling right and finding Cam Logan. 14-0 lead in the blink of an eye, and Boaz bounces back in the second quarter. Some hard running deep in Wildcat territory. Tristan Childers takes the handoff around the left side, and he finds a hole. Now it's 14-7, but it would be the Wildcats that would get the last laugh. They go on to take this one 35-14. Out in Athens, it's Russellville and East Limestone, with the Golden Tigers looking to move to 5-0, while the Indians attempt to avoid an 0-5 start. Russellville's Harrison Birch rolling left and then spinning right. Cash Crumpton with the catch and a money run. No one can get him as they get in for the touchdown. Starting to celebrate as 5-0 is looking good. Later, Birch under center again, but East Limestone has his guys covered, and it's time to run, finding a hole on the scramble for a quick pickup, and they'd stay on the ground. But this time, Birch is going to hand it off, letting Malachi Duncan handle the dirty work for Russellville, walking it in for the touchdown as Russellville rolls to 5-0 with the 53-7 win. Staying in Region 8, the Brewer Patriots put their perfect region record on the line against Lawrence County and could not come out on top, losing 23-0.
In Class 7A, we had a Madison County showdown. Bob Jones and Huntsville, both 1-1 in region play, and tonight met at the newly renovated Joe Davis Stadium. It was a packed house for this one, and it was high scoring as well. The Patriots running back Tyron Washington put on a show. The senior bounces this one outside, and he's all the way down the sideline, down to the 1 yard line. But he would not be denied. A play later, just going to make it look too easy. Waltzes in for the score. Pats up 21-0 early. Washington just too strong for that Panthers defense. But Huntsville would respond. Jackson McClung back to pass, lets one rip. He finds Ashton Caldwell, who dives and stretches in for what he thought was a score. Refs say down at the 1. But on the next play, the Panthers cap off their drive. Dwight Parker powers his way in for some points for Huntsville. The score, not enough in this one though, as Washington, big night is the difference. Bob Jones moves to 2-1 in region play with a 49-35 win over their crosstown rival. Here's a look at some other Class 7A Region 4 scores from tonight. At Florence, it was a battle of two 2-0 teams. James Clemens changes their record to 3-0 in region play with a 14-7 win over Florence, while Austin runs away with one at home tonight over Albertville, 56-13.
In 7A Region 4, the Sparkman defense has been putting on a show all season long, allowing just 18 points this year. The Senators look to punch their 4th shutout of the year tonight as they hosted Grissom. And the Senators were at it again. We jump in with Sparkman up 28 and looking to add on. Josh Ward rolling out of pressure, flings one up for Amari Jabbar. And that's the definition of yards after catch, saying, it'll take more than one of you to take me down as the Sens move closer. The Tigers defense would hold strong, but Sparkman rolls the dice on 4th and goal. Jaden Thomas spins his way in. Number 7 in for 7. Sparkman up 35-0. Grissom would be unable to crack the Senators' D, so Ward's got the ball in his hands again when Jalen Edwards rolls in for the sack, and Edwards was about to go off, going right after the quarterback again on the very next play, make it back-to-back sacks. Edwards had 3 in the second quarter, but it wouldn't matter as Sparkman wins 51-0. Well, it's already time for us to call our first time out of the show, but don't you dare touch that remote.
Yeah, coming up next on Way 31, we'll talk rivalry game of the week. It's a DeKalb County showdown between Geraldine and Sylvania.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night. Go Patriots! You're watching Big Game Friday night. Let's go Raiders! It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
All right, welcome back into Big Game Friday night. Last season, Geraldine and Sylvania met in the 3rd round of the playoffs. Tonight, they met again as unbeaten region opponents.
And keep in mind, the Bulldogs haven't beaten the Rams since 2020. We jump in with the Rams cruising up 21 in the 3rd, but not showing any signs of slowing down. Aiden Parham in the carry, and he'll rip through the Bulldog defense for a solid gain. And as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rolling with the same play for another Sylvania first down. They'd cap this one with who else but Parham. Direct snap, and he'll roll right up the middle for a Rams touchdown to increase the lead to 27. They'd keep up the momentum and win this one 37-16.
Good. You know, I'm proud the way our guys competed in the football game. You know, we didn't execute perfect the first half. We still messed up, but our guys competed well, ran the football. And when you do that, you put yourself in good situations. So I'm really proud of how we competed in the game.
Speaking of rivalry matchup, tonight at Randolph, it was a battle between the two private schools of Class 4A Region 8. Westminster on the road at Randolph tonight. And it's always a good game when these two teams face off against one another. Big night for both offenses and big night for this guy. Brandon Mush, the 4-year starter for the Wildcats, came to play tonight, but that's no surprise. TJ Carter on the end of this pass. And then the touchdown machine himself takes one for himself, breaks a tackle, and another, stays in bounds, and finds the end zone. Touchdown, Westminster Christian Academy. The Raiders, though, they would respond with a nice drive of their own. William Mitchell finds the big tight end, Hunter Wiggins, and the 6'3 junior picks up some yak to set up 1st and goal for David Lloyd's team. And on the 4th and goal, they punch it in. William Mitchell calls his own number, cuts upfield, lowers the shoulder. He's in for 6. This game back and forth throughout the night, but in the end, Westminster Christian takes home the win 34-30 in a battle.
Madison County and DAR are both off to rough starts, each winless through 4 games, and both hoping that game number 5 would eventually result in a win. And the Patriots have never beaten the Tigers, going 0-9 in their previous meetings, and if they thought they had any chance tonight, DAR King quickly put that to bed. King on the keeper, and he's through the line, and boy is he fast. Look at that separation, a 57-yard house call for a Tiger touchdown. And yeah, you're going to be excited about a run like that, but his reign was far from over. Long live the King. How about this one? King at it again, almost the same exact play, but this one is just 26 yards. Either way, it all counts the same for a Madison County touchdown. So down big, DAR has to try for the big play. Gage Davis looking for Trevor Ball, but Joshua Copeland says, no, I'll be taking that. A big interception. The Tigers will also take the game 54-8. In other Region 8 action, Priceville and New Hope entered Friday with perfect region records. Priceville keeps theirs with a 36-14 win over New Hope.
Second in Class 2A tonight at East Lawrence, the 1-2 Eagles were hosting the 2-2 West Limestone team in Trinity, Alabama. And a West Limestone man did they come to play tonight. Starting in the second half, already up 42-0 West Limestone. They put on a show of defense tonight, stopping East Lawrence time and time again, nearly every possession. It wouldn't stop there, though. Up next, West Limestone's Gavin Patterson collects the big sack on quarterback Brylan White to keep the drive from going much further. A few snaps later, East Lawrence quarterback White says he's tired of getting sacked. He's just going to try to let his receiver make a play, but Dawson Newborn says nope, picks this one off. He's headed the other way. Great defense in the second half. Wouldn't just be limited to West Limestone. East Lawrence's defense didn't want to give up anymore. They take down quarterback Cade Carpenter here in the end, though. West Limestone cruises to a victory 55-8. They move to 3-2 on the year. Looking at some other Class 4 Region 7 matchup, West Morgan was at Rogers tonight looking to stay undefeated, and undefeated they will be. They win this one 51-0 over Rogers, while at Brooks Central, they were hoping to get back in the win column against the Lions, but they couldn't pull it out. Brooks with a big win at home, 42-28.
In some non-region action, the Hazel Green Trojans hosted Decatur, with the Trojans still searching for their first win of the season. Decatur also struggling with 3 straight losses, but the home team starts with the ball. Brady Crawford in at QB, and he'll send a perfect spiral over to Gavin Jordan for a big Trojan pickup. But Decatur's defense would make a stand. The Trojans opt to go for it on 4th, and Christian Carter hits Caden Mays for a big first down to keep the drive going. Hazel Green would run the clock down in the first, with the opening drive lasting nearly 8 minutes. They'd get even closer to the end zone when Carter connects with Jordan, who makes his way to the far side and spins out of the shoe to make it 1st and goal for the home team. A couple plays later, they'd hit the scoreboard. Carter to Mays, and number 7 puts Hazel Green up 7 with the catch. But Decatur would go on to win this one, 48-14.
All right, guys, it was already time for us to call our second timeout of the show, but don't go anywhere.
Coming up next on Big Game Friday night, we turn our attention to Class 2A. Plenty of more fun when we return.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night.
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
We're the Scottsboro High School Wildcat Marching Band, and you're watching Big Game Friday night.
All right, how about that? A big congratulations to the Scottsboro Wildcats Marching Band for being named this week's Star Market Spirit Award winners.
Yeah, Trammell Stadium, my personal favorite place to watch a game in Jackson County. The Wildcats Marching Band always making that place rock. All right, how about we get back to some football now? Tonight at Hatton, the Hornets undefeated and hosting a good 3-1 Falkville team, and the Blue Devils started out hot with a bang. Check this one out from Landon Powers. Unleashes a 65-yard rocket to freshman wide receiver Dawson Fowler, who takes it all the way for the score. You're not going to catch him. Big play early for the road team. The Hatton Hornets, they would try to even it up, but a bad snap leads the ball going around like a slippery pig, which Falkville's Cole Fitzgerald wrangles in for another touchdown. You don't see that play every day, but Falkville would get going. Hatton running back Carvarian Black isn't ready to give up. He picks up the big first down. That's going to lead to another big play for Black. Jukes his way through the Blue Devils defense. Hatton back in it with a big touchdown in the end. It's Hatton that wins at home 28-14. Week 4 is in the books, which means that we have seen some teams already halfway through their schedule, like the Tanner Rattlers, who are at home tonight hosting Sheffield, hoping to move above 500, and they take home the win 48-14. While at Red Bay tonight, the Tigers use their home field advantage as they get the big win over the team from Mississippi, the Belmont Cardinals, 14-6.
The Pisgah Eagles are off to a great start, winning their first 3 games, hoping to advance to 4-0 with a win over Eider. Now, the Eagles have dominated the Hornets, winning 11 of their last 12 meetings. No different tonight. Early in the second, Pisgah leads 38-zip. They'll keep rolling. Handoff to Brody McBride, and he'll glide for about 6 yards before getting sandwiched. The Eagles stay on the ground, putting the ball in McBride's hands again, and he'll show off the footwork before getting thrown out of bounds. Eventually, the Eagles take it to the air. Jackson Smalley to Caleb Jenkins, and here we go. Stiff arm and one cut back behind the blockers is all it's going to take, going all the way to put Pisgah up 44-0, and they had no mercy tonight, even going for 2 on that play as they win 46-16.
All right, let's stay in Class 2A Region 7. North Sand Mountain 2-2 to start the year. They were on the road tonight at Whitesburg Christian, who are looking for their first win of the year at home for the first time in 5 weeks. And it would be the Bison that had the momentum early. First quarter when Joshua Farmer says, "Thank you very much." He picks off Caleb Robinson and takes it up the field to set up the first drive of the night for North Santa Mountain. And the Bison give it right back to the Farmer. He's the cream of the crop, finding the hole and finding the end zone. Bison on top. Whitesburg, they would tie it up, but it wouldn't stay tied for long. Look at the wheels on Caden Moore, untouched, right up the middle of the field. Bison back on top, 14-7. Whitesburg came to play in their first home game of the season. Robinson throws an absolute rocket to Brady Davis for the score as this game back and forth throughout the night. In the end, it's North Sand Mountain who goes on the road to win 42-26.
Out in the Shoals, it's a battle of 1-3 squads with Colbert Heights hosting Clements. In this matchup, history favors the Wildcats, who've won their last 3 meetings. And the Wildcats looking deep here. Dakota Vaughn must have been thinking he had a man there. Jaden Gilbert is the only one in the area coming down with the pick and heading out of bounds. And Gilbert's a menace with the ball in his hands, and everyone knows it, but I guess Colbert Heights forgot, because when he takes this handoff, things get wild. It's like the defenders are on skates, and he gets about as close as he can without scoring. The Colts decide to give him a rest, letting Dominic Holt finish the job as he strolls in for the score. Clements would end their skid with the 50-37 dub. All right, well, now it's time we take our third and final time out of the show.
Yeah, but don't go anywhere. Coming up next on Big Game Friday Night, how about we give some small schools some love? A big-time battle tonight in Class 1A. Next.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday Night. You're watching Big Game Friday Night. Go City!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday Night.
Welcome back into Big Game Friday Night, everyone. All right, how about we show some of our smaller schools some love? Undefeated Shoals Christian on the road tonight at 1-loss Cherokee.
Yeah, we thought this game would be a good one, and it was. Early on, The home team, Cherokee, they were threatening. Handoff to Nathan Trent, who's down on the 1 yard line. But on the next play, I know it's tough to see here, but he gets in. Trent, that is, he puts Cherokee ahead. Shoals Christian, though, they would look to respond. How about quarterback John Batcherfer? Back to pass. Going to throw a bomb here, but it falls incomplete. The receiver can't hold on to it. So the Flame, they reach deep in their bag for this next one. How about the toss to running back, DJ Shanes? He's going to look to pass, and it's Sam Story on the end of this one. He'll be telling this story to his kids the rest of his life. Touchdown, Shoals Christian. They remain undefeated with the big win on the road. Shoals Christian 16, Cherokee 12.
Of course, high school football is not our only interest here on Way 31. We have a busy slate of college football tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The Auburn Tigers will hit the road for their first conference game of the year as they head to College Station to take on the Aggies. Set your alarms for that one, 11 a.m. kick.
Well, tomorrow at 2:30, the Alabama Crimson Tide, they begin their conference slate with a top 25 showdown against the Ole Miss Rebels. And, of course, I'll be on the sidelines for that one as well. Be sure to see our full game recap tomorrow on Way 31 at 10 o'clock following tomorrow's ABC late night game. And of course, a massive thank you to everyone that helps make this show possible, from production to our EP Sarah Jones to our shooters on the sidelines. This show would not be possible without them. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you that tune in each and every week and make Way 31 your home for high school football.
And to finish this week's show, we're going to do the same thing we do every week with our big game Friday night, Top Lights.
Good night, everybody.
Special presentation of Way 31 Sports.